G'day and welcome, guys, to My Blue Heaven. Yes, My Blue Heaven, and welcome to all the new subscribers on this channel, and even a Melbourne supporter who jumped on and commented from last week's review of our game against the D's. Thank you very much. You're very, very welcome. I love other supporters jumping on. I must say I'm quite relaxed at the moment, and I've used that word nonchalant. I'll continue to use it. No anxiety. I'm really looking forward to getting along on Sunday. 3:20 start, MCG, big crowd. Go with Mum, which I did last week. Although we lost, I really enjoyed being there. You know what? I look forward to going to the last game of the AFL season, the regular season. 22 rounds done and dusted after this weekend. Yes, round 23. Just like I went last week to round 22. And the week before that, when we played Brisbane, I watched on the television. It was round 21. And as far as I see this weekend, round 23, all 18 clubs are playing. All 18 clubs. Geelong are playing. They're not getting a week off this week. They're playing. They're sitting on top of the ladder, but they're playing. Pretty sure Richmond are playing this weekend. Pretty sure Brisbane are playing this weekend. There's no doubt North are playing. Essendon are playing. Adelaide are playing. Port Adelaide are playing. Gold Coast are playing. Yeah, they're all playing. All 18 teams. They'll go at it this weekend in round 23. And I repeat, I'll be there. I'll be there for this last game of the regular season. You see, our game against the Pies this Sunday is the last game of the home and away season. And it's not a fucking elimination final, which it's been billed as. Partly from the club, partly from the media, a lot by the fans. We're part of this elimination final. What a fucking joke that is, eh? What a fucking joke that is. This is not an elimination final. It's round 23. We have yet earned the right to be part of the final 8 and be part of the final series, which is going to take place in 2 weeks' time, in the first week of September, when things change, and they really change. When it's down to the final 8 and the final series, where you use that word finals. So this game against Collingwood this weekend, it's not a fucking elimination final. It's anything but. It's just round 23. So stop trying to trick yourself. Stop trying to pretend. It's a Clayton's final series for us Carlton supporters. And it's frankly a little bit fucking premature and embarrassing, the talk of this being an elimination final, being built up as such. We are not there. This isn't the finals. It's the home and away season, which every other 18 club that are in the competition are a part of. And I'm looking forward to getting along there on Sunday to cheer my team on, to hopefully, arrest a 3-game losing streak. So much for that we never lose 2 in a row narrative. 3-game losing streak. Let that sink in for a second. Okay, so this is a chance to finish the season off with a win. A win. Yeah, a fucking win in the regular home and away season. That's the way I'm seeing it. Right here, right now. And let's worry about the other stuff when we actually fucking win. Or let's concern ourselves about the ramifications if we fucking lose the last game of the season. So don't pretend for 1 second, guys, that this is an elimination final, because it's not. Okay, you have to earn that right to get there. And right here, right now, we're not there, but our opposition, yeah, they can somewhat put their feet up. Maybe that will affect them, who knows? But they can put their feet up, particularly their fans. They know that they're going to be there. They've earned the right. Us, so, we're pretending that this is an elimination final. It's sort of rather pathetic and quite cringe-worthy. Sure, the stakes are high, but they were high last week. They were high the week before against Brisbane. They were high the week before, okay, against Adelaide. They've always been high in the regular home and away season. So this isn't an elimination final. It's the last time I'm going to say it. Last time I'm going to mention that word, elimination final. I do not want to hear it again, okay, from my club, from my supporters. Oh, fucking say it if you like. You're kidding yourself. Let's get on to our opposition in the game, and I'll do a bit of a team talk video, probably tomorrow when the teams are released. I know there'll be extended benches, but I'll go through some matchups. I'll have a look at the pies in a little bit more detail, as I did last week with the Ds. Thanks for all the feedback on that team talk video I did last week. That will become a regular fixture moving forward. When I did the preview for the Collingwood game, when we played them, and that wasn't that long ago, they weren't travelling that well. And we were, and so we were flying, but we're in a hell of a lot better position than what we are now in regards to form. And I always said in that preview it was a 50-50 contest. I do watch Collingwood really, really closely. Probably out of all the other clubs in the competition, I watch them more closely than any other team, because I am, okay, part of a Collingwood supporter group who do a thing called the Shadow Copeland. And they have asked me, which I've done for the last, would be 4 or 5 years now, and I like doing it. I give votes as an opposition supporter, as a less biased set of eyes, and so I do watch them. And if I would really want to try and describe this Collingwood football team, and at that time, when I did the preview, I said that was going to be a tough game, and I was absolutely gobsmacked at the amount of, I don't know if it was arrogance, but Carlton supporters getting way too ahead of themselves in regards to that game, and some of the predictions of us having a 10-goal plus win were well off the mark. And I always knew it was going to be close. And it was a brilliant game of football. And the fact that we get to face them again is fantastic. How do I describe this Collingwood team and what I have observed throughout the course of 2022? And I think it's a really interesting one this weekend, because I'm not talking so much in regards to game style, because I think we've somewhat just tinkered with the way we've played over the last fortnight or so in regards to not being such a high possession football team and trying to be a little bit more direct. And trying to absorb the pressure by not over handballing for a start. And we know that Collingwood are exceptionally good at springboarding from their half-back line and really do sweat on turnover and really do take the game on through the corridor. And if you go back through the highlights of that game, when we played them earlier on in the year, they did expose us through the middle of the ground. I would like to think we've learnt a little bit from that game. We'll just have to wait and see. But in one word, I would describe Collingwood as fearless. I don't know if brave or courageous is the right word. I think fearless pretty much sums them up. And I think right here, right now, we are... I would describe it as a very cautious team. And I can't quite put a finger on why that is. It could be experience. Could be just the stages we're at. It could be just, the different types of personalities within the team. And sometimes I think it is that. And the reason why I feel that is because this Collingwood team is made up of such, I don't know if extroverts is the right word, but they play with an enjoyment of the game and a fearless attitude where we appear to want to be led. We want to be led and guided and taught and we're waiting. We want to wait. We want to be given instructions to go. And almost like we are a fraction insecure. And I think it's played out that way for most of the year. Because there's no doubt when we do sort of go and we do let the shackles off a bit, we can play some exciting football. But this is a Collingwood team, when I use that word fearless, they do scare me. They do scare me from a fan point of view. And I reckon that may even seep down into our players as well. And why wouldn't it? Just having a look at what they've been able to achieve this year. And I don't know. I just feel with us, and I look at what we did so well against the D's last week, and we suddenly, in a matter of, say, a month, turned our pressure around to becoming almost elite. In a blink of an eye, we've laid 87 tackles, which we have not been able to do for the whole year. And it sort of almost has become a bit of a focus. And I don't know. I feel that we think about that, and it kept us in the game for so long last week until those final 3 minutes where we had to find something else other than the 87 tackles, other than the pressure and what we did so well for the large majority of that game. And I'm not saying those 87 tackles were contrived, because it showed we were capable of actually doing it. I just feel that we see tackling in that side of the game is something we have to do. We have to do it, and it's hard work. It's hard work. Whereas this Collingwood team have been pretty much doing it for the whole year. And it's like they've got this look in their eye and their persona and in their demeanour that they actually embrace and really, really enjoy that side of the game. So much so that But it's almost like part of just who they are, and it's celebrated. Just like they celebrate just about everything else, which makes up who they are. So any deficiencies they have, they almost celebrate it. Whereas we're a bit of a worrier. And this Collingwood team is a team that appear to be really enjoying what they do. And I would love to have a football team like ours to come into this game against the Pies this week feeling the same way about what we do. But I have my doubts. And I don't want to have doubts, but I do. Whether that's just the journey, whether that's just where we're at the moment, whether that can improve in time, we're just going to have to wait and see. I remember when my youngest son, he started off on the old scooter down at the skateboard park, and he used to drag me down there for hours and hours and hours, sort of, taking him down to the skateboard park, and I'd sit there and watch him, and I'd watch these skaters, these young skaters, these teenage skaters go about their business, and my God, aren't they good? And there was this one dude, young guy, who reminds me a little bit of what Collingwood are now. He had a broken arm in a cast, and it was even like, he had the cast on, but it came up over the elbow, so his elbow was actually quite bent. He clearly had a fall previous, but it didn't stop him from doing everything. Going down the ramps, tricks, falling off. He just kept going and going and going with this cast on his arm. Just fearless. Okay, and that's Collingwood. Whereas we're the skateboarder who's taken a few falls, and we've gone back to the classroom, we've put the helmet on, the knee pads on, and we're thinking of ways in which to, I don't know if we're overthinking it, but that's what it appears to me. We're not the fearless skateboard rider who's going to cop their whacks, cop their injuries, but just get on with it and cop another injury, smile on the face, a little bit of pain. It's going to be a beauty. It's going to be a ripper. I think we're a good chance. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the last time we played them showed that we were right in the contest. We came back at them hard, and the irony of that situation is when the shackles were let off, it was us who came at them in the last part of that game, and we scored. We scored really quickly. Scoring has dried up a little bit for us, but hopefully with this new tinkered game plan where we want to get the ball a little bit quicker into our front half, give our forwards opportunities, that we can put this Collingwood defence under a little bit of pressure, because they do springboard. They do springboard. I just want to finish off by saying, guys, that, yeah, the stakes are high. The stakes are high. Of course they are. And it's probably something I haven't mentioned a lot throughout the course of the season, in regards to how I will assess this when it's all done and dusted, whether we win or lose this game. But what I will say, given the start to our season, 8-2, given the fact that we are now on a 3-game losing streak, potentially 4 to finish the year, a win will bring for the fans, me, I'm a fan, it will bring an incredible amount of ecstasy. One, the win, because that's what you want. You want to win, and you win against an arch rival for a start. And all that brings against an arch rival, the fact that they got us last time, and there's bragging rights, and there's a big crowd and all that. You know, you get big crowds in the home and away season. It's not a final. It's a home and away season. And the ecstasy then, fucking, you start to think about, you know, what's going to happen in 2 weeks' time after that, and just everything. It'd be marvellous to win. But on the flip side, and I mean this, we lose this game of football on Sunday, it's not going to define us moving forward. It won't define us moving forward. I'm confident of that. But for this year, and we're playing for the now. We're playing for the fucking now. And I know there's always this notion, this talk of keeping one eye in the future and we're building something and all that type of stuff. Let the club worry about that. But for this year, we don't get the job done on Sunday. This will be a failure of massive proportions, and a complete choke, and not something to be proud of. In fact, almost humiliating. The fact that an arch rival will be the ones to seal our fate will make that even worse. And to think a team like the Western Bulldogs, who've really struggled throughout the whole year, will then overtake us if that happens. This will be really humiliating. And I know there'll be a lot of anger on my behalf if we don't get the job done. More along the fact for me that we need to stop this 3-game losing streak, but also in the context of the year, the home and away season. I'm not going to, I don't want to get caught up in I'll definitely be angry and livid. But I'm not going to be one of these ones who will then, after being angry and livid, will then cool down after 3 days and say what a wonderful year it was and we've made massive strides and blah, blah, blah. I would just see this as an absolute fucking disaster. 222, an absolute fucking disaster. That's all. And then the grind will start for 223, simple as that. And I'll let the club deal with the spin and the sell. Okay, that's the way I see it anyway. I can't wait to get there for round 23 and see if we can get a win in this last game of the season. Should be a beauty. I will finish off by saying that I am genuinely fearful of this Collingwood football team. They are bloody good, and I'd like to think that we as a football club and a football team can finally stand up. Yeah, finally stand up. And be taken really seriously, and give us something that we can take away from 222. Good luck to the boys. I would love to say that I believe in you, but I think you deep down inside these players, it's up to them. It's up to them and the coach when they cross that white line together, that they have to get the job done, yeah? They have to get the job done, and they'll have to face the consequences, whatever comes their way, come around about 5:30 on Sunday night. Speak to you soon.